Welcome to a new Monday morning routine. It's Coffee with Strangers with Kelli Lemon.
Hey, it's Kelli, and today I'm at Pop to grab coffee with Jesse Vaughan. Jesse's a filmmaker known for his work on In Living Color and having won 29 Emmys. But when he's not in LA or on set, he's on campus at Virginia State.
There's a toast any time of the day, every time of the day. Who are you and what do you do in this city?
Oh, wow. I'm Jesse Vaughan. I'm a filmmaker. I operate a unit out of Virginia State University called Advanced Creative Services Group, where we make documentaries and commercials to help influence young people to see the benefit of higher education. I directed a couple feature films. Juwanna Man I did for Warner Brothers. Recently did a movie on Muhammad Ali called The Last Punch. I was a director on In Living Color, a TV show, and some national spots with different agencies. I've been nominated for 49 Emmys in my career, and I've won 29.
Do you drink coffee?
Sometimes, not all the time. I'm more of a tea
I
person.
was about to ask. How'd you get to Virginia State?
Back when Keith Miller was the president of Virginia State, he tracked me down and he said, "You're in the business of promoting and making stars. I want you to come to Virginia State and make Virginia State a star."
Wow.
When he said that to me, I was at my mom's house and I told my mom, she said, "That's a really nice man. You need to work for that nice man."
That nice man, that's what you said. Richmond is home.
Richmond is home.
What
yeah.
part? What part?
I grew up in Northside. I went to Benedictine High School.
Okay.
And then I ended up at VCU.
Right out of VCU, automatically to LA? Or what was the stumbling blocks to get there?
I started directing TV news when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
At Channel 6
Got
in
it.
Richmond. I did that for 3.5 years. I ended up going to Northern Virginia to a small PBS station where I did 9 documentaries on student rights and education. NBC, when I was 22, kind of took a look at me and they said, start out as an associate director. I stayed there for 10 years. I worked with some people at NBC. It was Quincy Jones for the Jesse Jackson show. I directed his show when I was at NBC. And they kind of influenced me, hey, you should give LA a try. So I went to LA for almost 20 years.
I noticed a lot of different production companies are coming to Richmond.
Right.
Why do you think that is so?
There's a lot to be gained by being in Richmond, filming. You could use Richmond, you could actually fake it for other cities if you wanted to. You could shoot in Churchill and throw in some yellow cabs, you think you're in Brooklyn. You could shoot in downtown, you could think you're in other cities. So there's a lot here.
And you said Northside is where you grew up. Is that where you rest your head now?
I actually live in Petersburg.
What part of Petersburg do you live in?
A historic part of downtown.
What is some places that you eat at or that you like to visit in Petersburg?
Demolition Coffee, Vincenzo's. I go to Vincenzo's. Brick House is another place in Petersburg that I go. Of course, there's Mr. Eggleston, Croker Spot, right?
Yeah, Croker Spot. What are some things that you think a lot of Virginians should know about that they don't?
Richmond has some amazing architecture and some of the old houses are just fabulous.
What are you looking forward to coming up this spring or summer?
I have my work at Virginia State, so we're doing a series of documentaries there, a couple commercials. I did a film called The Last Punch. They're trying to bring that to Richmond probably into the summer.
You talked about Richmond International Film Festival. Are you involved with that at all?
It's just like every other year. Last year was my film, The Last Punch. 2 years before that, we did a film called Living in a Food Desert, where we did a documentary about food deserts in and around the city. If you live in a city where a grocery store is beyond a mile from where you live, then you're living in a food desert. And people don't necessarily see the significance of that. A food desert is a pretty serious problem that a lot of people are trying to address.
Talk a little bit about In Living Color. How important do you think that show is to pop culture?
That show was tremendous because that show dealt with a lot of the current trends, whether it was politics, sports, entertainment. And right now with Twitter being hot and the average person is commenting on all the social issues and politics and all the different fields, it probably is a good time to bring back that type of variety show.
The crew from LA is saying, we're coming to Richmond. Give us a tour, give us a good time. How are you gonna show them Richmond, Petersburg, Tri-Cities?
I like Carytown, I like Shockoe Slip, I like Shockoe Bottom, I like the restaurants. I like to be able to walk around. Probably take them maybe to a show at the Bird Theater, maybe down to the Carpenter Center if something's going on there, and some of the restaurants in and around town. And then anything that has to do with the James River, just to be able to see the beauty of the James River, I think that's pretty awesome.
Are you settling in Richmond right now, or do you think that you'll up and leave again?
I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere. You know, there's always that potential of someone calling me about a major project. I'd like to do a film here in Richmond. I'd like to do a major motion picture here.
Give me your 15-second elevator speech. Richmond is.
Richmond is my hometown. It's a town that's on the up and up when it comes to the arts, when it comes to culture, when it comes to music, entertainment. It's a growing city that people really need to take a look at. I mean, there's something going on here, so I say, hey, take a look at it. You should come, give it a shot.
To hear the rest of my interview with Jesse, check out the Coffee with Strangers podcast in your preferred podcast app. Subscribe to this channel on YouTube and visit coffeewithstrangersrva.com to sign up for the newsletter. Oh, and keep an eye on newsstands for a new issue of Richmond Grid magazine. Okay, see you soon.